Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Turtle Wow series. We're back again on my hunter, and about to complete some quests. But first things first, taming the beast. Now, I mulled over the decision whether or not to show this off, but since this quest has popped up here instead of me having to run to Dumb Moreau, I figured, you know what? Yeah, I could do it here. Ain't no big deal. So the first quest we have going right now is for us to tame a stone tusk boar. Relatively easy since it's right here, and should be a very quick quest. It's small. It's a little quest, so it's not like it's a big, I have to travel across the entire zone type of deal. But yeah, we'll get it done very quickly. I'll probably, and I did off screen just like a couple minutes ago. Ran the Stormwind, came back to get engineering and smelting or mining, just so that we can have that at the ready when we wander around Westfall and Elwyn. So the next one wants us to tame a prowler, huh? All right, simple enough, easy peasy enough. Go ahead and dismiss that pet, and we'll push us in combat. Because in the old hunting quest stuff, the pets that you tame with a taming rod end up coming back with a vengeance. But we can easily outrun them. It's no big deal. Okay, so now as we're on our way over to the Eastvale logging camp to tame a prowler, we'll also turn in the cloth and leather armor quest while I'm heading this way. That way we can get that out of the way. Easy peasy. Nothing too terribly difficult. We'll also keep my eyes on the. I'm gonna keep my eyes on the ridge off to the side here, just in case to see if there's any copper, because I want to grab as much as I can. I will probably be heading to Ironforge at some point, maybe on screen or off screen, just to get the gun skill, because engineering obviously has guns and stuff like that. The gun is not better than the short bow, but the gun after the first, like, it's like the old blunderbuss or whatever, engineered blunderbuss. I think it's the gun after that one that will be twice as better than this bow that I have right now. So yeah, I'm gonna keep eyes on that. I'm gonna stray away from the path for a second because I know there's copper ore that does spawn in this general vicinity here. And if I don't see any copper show up on my screen, I'll just head back over to the road. Doesn't look like there is anything here. At least not from the surface. At least not from the surface. There's one. There's more. Go ahead and snatch this up. Hopefully not pull the bear in the process. Go ahead and, well, try to. If I keep not failing the attempt. I keep failing the attempt. This ore does not want me to have it. Holy moly. That's a lot of times that it just said nope. Bruv? Hello? Hello? Bruv is like, I'm gonna try and mine this while I'm mining it? Bruh? Crazy. Wacky. Wacky. Dude's like, I know he's mining it, but I'm going to mine it too. Like, bruh, it don't work like that. You just be stealing stuff that I've been trying to get. I'm trying to get. You're just stealing it. Not thinking. Mind, head empty, not thinking. Pretty much have to be. I also walk along this path here off the beaten path a little bit because I know there's copper ore that do spawn on this ridge too. As well as earth root. A lot of earth root. Elwyn's a nice place to get copper, but I feel like Dunmoreau probably has the highest chance to have copper spawn in next to Duratar. It's, I don't know, just my personal guess, I would think. Personal take. I mean, Owen's got a lot of stuff here. Like, you can just go across these ridges and stuff like that and get a bunch of these down here. You can get, you know, copper that way. But at the same time, like, Dunmoreau is like 80% mountain. So there's like a lot of mountains that you can just walk across. Heck, when I first did my hunter hardcore a while back on this channel, you could see it. Being a mine, just mining alone, just was like everywhere. Like, it was just everywhere. Copper for days, even. You know, it was just amazing. Of course, now it's not like that because I'm in Elwyn and I'm playing Turtle WoW and not playing hardcore on the live servers. Which, I mean, I want to get back into a lot. I did make a video recently about it, but it just... I've been on Turtle WoW for a while now and just not... I'm just spoiled again with the idea of just coming back after dying. Like, it's not that I'm bored of it, it's just I don't see much point in it. I think it's not... I don't think it's fallen off or anything. Well, not yet. Not yet, anyway. It's just more or less on me taking a break. I mean, there's a hardcore mode on this server. If people actually want me to actually do a hardcore run on Turtle WoW, I can definitely do that, but that's only if people want me to. I'm not gonna go out of my way and play hardcore. Not you know, not like I was with normal classic WoW hardcore. I primarily did it because everybody else was doing it, and now that things have kind of chilled down, calmed down a little bit, I just don't see really much of a point for me to linger on it. It was just the concept that I figured I could just, you know, make videos on and, you know, gain a little bit of attention since it was a big popular thing, a trending thing. But since it's not a real big trending thing anymore, it's just, not worry about it. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's people out there who know what I mean. It's not that I'm bored, it's just I don't find it entirely fun. I like it, but it's not fun. If that makes sense? Does that make sense? Like, I can definitely do it, it's fun when I do it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really care to keep doing it. Because I died like 14, 16 times, had to restart runs over and over again just to keep, you know, the progression going and to keep the series floating. My own incompetence kind of makes it difficult because I'm not really a big pro kind of player. I'm a great player. I played for years. I know where everything is, but I screw up pretty easily. It's just I'm very quick to screw things up, I guess, and it does frustrate me a great deal. It frustrates me a good deal when I have to restart because of my own stupidity. So that's why I'm not really doing hardcore right away. But I might bounce back into it probably on this server, not really the official WoW servers. But we'll find out. Uh, we'll figure it out. When retail opens up the next big area, which is the Emerald Dream, I will be making videos on that too. So do keep an eye out for that. This channel is not going to be solely private server content. I'm also going to use retail content too, because I still like retail. It's just I'd rather wait for the content to come out. That and I'm a Pandaren main on retail. For those who don't know yet, but I like playing Pandaren. And yeah, I've just primarily stuck to retail for Pandaren, unless a private server that's set in the classic era like this brings out Pandaren. I'm still gonna be playing retail. I mean, it would be kind of cool, but most of the player bases during in private servers and stuff like that don't like the idea of Pandaren. I don't know why. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Pandaren. I like them. They got a really freaking strong food buff. That every stat that you gained off your food is ×2. I like that. I like how Pandaren look. Pandaren's been part of the games franchise since Warcraft 3. I don't get why people complain about it. I mean, well, actually, no. I can kind of see why people complain about it, because people who don't play Warcraft 3 have no clue that the Pandaren was actually an established race in lore, and they think it was just some sort of Chinese pander tool because pandas are Chinese stuff. Listen, Pandaren have been part of the game for years and years. They just are elusive creatures until Mr. Pandaria came out, where they stumbled upon the elusive creatures. It's not like they just popped in out of nowhere. They crash landed on the the mainland for Pandaria, and they just was like, "Oh no, this is a bad expansion. This is too goofy. This is too this. This is too that." And, buddy, you never even played Warcraft 3, have you? Because they are literally real things. This is not a Blizzard Pander race that they just made up on a whim. This race has been around since the freaking RPG version of Warcraft. And, it's just like, I don't understand how people are just so numb-mindedly dumb to the idea to think that Pandaren aren't really a proper race in the lore. Like, dude, are you dumb? Like, I don't want to belittle people, but when you have a take like that, where they're just used as a pandering tool, and that the whole expansion was just to pander to the Chinese Asian market, maybe. But you can't deny the fact that the Pandaren have been part of the game for years and years and years, and now you're just mad about it because you think that they're not supposed to be in lore or some garbage? Like, no, buddy. They've been in the game for years. You're just blind ignorance, I guess. It's hard to say what it truly is with people, but they clearly don't understand, and they're just in denial to the fact that Blizzard made something like this, and they just expanded on it. They just don't like the idea. And this came straight out of Cataclysm, right? After Cataclysm was Mr. Pandaria. So what? you know? And then the only thing I criticize for Mr. Pandaria personally is the fact that it was the precursor to WoD, one of the worst expansions in the goddamn game. Like, to go from Mr. Pandaria to the worst thing ever, people are just going to use the indicate, like, this whole idea that Blizzard has a bad streak. Like, oh, Wrath near the end was bad. The game was pretty much over. And then Mr. Pandaria came out. No, it was that Cataclysm came out, and that sucked because Cata sucked. The whole world changed. They brought in LFR, and that LFR system was stupid and broken, and then the Deathwing fight and stuff like that was pretty garbage too because the whole thing, yada yada yada. And then it's like, oh, Mr. Pandaria came out. That was terrible too because pandas are a joke. And then, WAD comes out, and WAD was terrible because it was a content drought for almost a year. And then everybody praises Legion because Legion was like the second coming of Jesus because it was the first expansion they thought in their head that was better than the last three. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but when Legion re-releases or something like that, you're gonna have rose-tinted goggles, and you're gonna realize how terrible everything was, how everything wasn't as terrible as you thought it was while going through the expansion. You just followed the hype, right? I think people hate Mr. Pandaria and hate pandas because of hype reasons. Other people telling other people how to think and how to process things. I think Mr. Pandaria was a great expansion. I like the Pandaren. I love the lore that they came out with them and how they were actually a super serious race underneath everything else. People just thought pandas are big, fat, dumb, lazy, they love to party, and they love to do this and that. That's all they thought about Pandaren, right? That's all they thought about Pandaren, and they didn't give him any chances. And clearly, if you have a mindset to think that, Pandaren are just fat, lazy, they just love to drink and party and stuff like that, then, buddy, you weren't paying attention during Mr. Pandaria. Like, straight up, you weren't really necessarily paying attention to Mr. Pandaria. Because after the Jade Force, you've seen where there's actual conflict between the natives and the Pandaren. How the other natives view Pandaren. How, Pandaren being a race that freed itself from slavery from the Mogu, which are the big antagonists of the whole thing, and how they dealt with everything and how they built everything up. How they had to contend with fights from the Mantid, from the Mogu, from Yongle who are trying to get out of, trying to get away from the Mantid because, they are locked outside the wall. And when they open up the gate, they raid, they pillage, and they do stuff because all they know is conflict because they never knew a race could be peaceful on Pandaria. So they had this fight or flight. Like, there is so much deeper stuff in the lore. The reasons why they fight, the reasons why they survive, reasons how they do things. And people just blow past it because pandas are dumb. Like, if Miss Pandaria re-released today and people genuinely gave it some thought without the whole I hate Pandaren stigma, I think people would actually have enjoyed Miss Pandaria. I don't care what people say. I think they would definitely enjoy because there was a lot of class rework systems that was really good. The raids was pretty good. They were pretty well tuned. They weren't too terribly difficult unless you went up in difficulty. The zones themselves was pretty good. They introduced the Isle of Giants. The Isle of Giants was a pretty good farming zone with a world boss on it, so you can get a pretty cool mount. Then the Timeless Isle was one of the better catch-up areas because it was right there. You could literally walk to it. You didn't have to, you know, well, you could swim to it or you could just, do water walking. You can go there at any level. How I remember when I first hit level 85, I think it was. 85 to 90. When I hit level 85, I get heirlooms on. And while using heirlooms, I just went instantly to the Timeless Isle. Went from 80 to 85 to 90 just by killing rares, farming up tokens so that when I finally hit level 90, I had a full set of catch-up gear that I really didn't have to worry about the rest of the stuff. Like, it was easy to just get what you need and not what you, like, it wasn't at all terribly difficult. It wasn't something to wrap your head around, like, oh my god, there's so much garbage in front of my face. It worked out. Heck, and then the freaking Isle of Thunder, I think it is. The Isle of Thunder, where he had the Throne of Thunder. that zone allowed you to have PvP and PvE, and they gave you quests depending on what you wanted to do. Like, it gave you diversity of what you wanted to do and how you wanted to approach things. Now, I wish they had kept that for the, other stuff. I liked it, the ideas they came up with. They were pretty good. They were decent. They let you choose what you wanted to do. And then the green fire quests for warlocks. One of the best freaking quest lines I've ever done in WoW when it came to a class. Right? I loved it. I liked it. I loved it. I just could not, grasp why people hated it so much. Like, I was little. I was like, what, 14, 15? Somewhere around there, 13 maybe, when Mr. Pandaria came out. I played that shit every day. I loved it. It was great. I fell in love with the game again after, the big rough, cataclysm and stuff like that. I liked it. And I think people who hate it just have this follow the leader mindset where, oh, I heard my favorite YouTuber, or oh, I heard my favorite streamer, and they hate this expansion, they hate the pandas and stuff like that, so I do too, because I have to follow, the herd. I have to follow my leader. I have to, you know follow what other people say. Bruh, it's dumb, straight up. I think you should think for yourself, and I think if you have to re-experience, you know the expansion again, keep an open mind while playing the expansion. You'll realize pretty quickly that it's actually a pretty good expansion. You were just hating it because other people were telling you to hate it. It's just as simple as that. It's dumb that people just follow this idea that they have to hate something because their favorite streamer or their favorite YouTuber says, well, I hate it. And that instantly makes it like, okay, well, I have to hate it too, because if I don't hate it, then I'm not a really good fan to my you know, my favorite streamer and stuff. Like, dude, think for yourself. Don't think what other people's, personal takes are about it. I think it's dumb to think that. I think if you're not gonna really, really think about what you like and what you hate about certain things, and rely heavily on, your influencers and stuff like that, I hate to tell you, but you're just as bad as them, right? You're just as bad as, just those particular YouTubers and streamers, right? If you can't think for yourself and what you enjoy and actually experience something with an open mind and have your own personal opinion, and you just only follow the words of people that you like, I don't know what to tell you other than that you're a sheep. You blindly follow a leader that has opinions that you think should be your opinions too. I don't particularly understand why you need to. Like, when I first saw, Mr. Pandaria come out, and all the initial reactions to it, and all my favorite YouTubers and stuff like that said that they hated it. That they hated all of the, pandas, they hated the zones and stuff like that. And I went into the expansion thinking that too. And then when I played Pandaren for myself, played a Pandaren monk, I was willing to test out the monk and stuff like that, and I gave it a chance. I opened up my mind to it, and I loved it, and I just went through the experience loving the entire expansion. I wish I could still play the expansion now, but, there's just, I don't know. I would love to play, Mr. Pandaria server, and I know there's a few of them out there right now, and I might consider playing on them, but I don't know yet. My computer is not exactly full of infinite space that I can just throw a bunch of different WoWs onto, even though I wish it did. I would definitely love to have a Legion private server, a Miss Pandaria server, a classic server, a TBC server. You know, I'd love to re-experience all that stuff and actually be populated like Turtle WoW is. If Turtle WoW came out with Pandarens overnight and all that kind of stuff, bro, I would be on top of the game. I would be playing it every day. I would be doing videos of it every day. Just every day. I know there is a Pandaren right here for the illusion. But but yeah, no. I'd prefer, you know, not that model personally. I would like for it to be, you know, the normal Pandaren model. I would prefer that, yes. It would kind of look weird with an HD looking texture on top of the classic stuff, and I get the reason for this. But there's no female model, you know, and the male model is the only thing there. And it's not worth it. No, not really. Not really worth it. I mean, maybe. Um, but yeah, that's that rant pretty much well and over with, I guess. In short, if Turtle WoW came out with a Pandaren playable race and stuff like that, I would probably be playing it a lot. I would be playing this a lot more. I would definitely like fall in love with the server even more than I already am now, because I absolutely enjoy and love the ideas, the concepts. And if they did open up to just like that, I would love it even more. Simple as that. I would definitely love it more. But that's just how I am. You know, it's just I have my own personal takes. I have my own personal tastes. People can like them. People can hate them. Simple. But just personally, on a personal level, I would prefer uh, to play Pandaren over pretty much all the other races. But that's pretty much asking the moon to like stay a full moon every night. It just don't work. It just doesn't work like that. But yeah, that's that rant. uh, that's that discussion. We'll see where it goes. But yeah. And I do think that for every expansion, right? Everybody hates all the expansions to a degree until something really, really, really cool comes out, and then people just go bonkers over it. But for me personally, it's just not like that, right? It's just not like that at all. I like all the expansions for one reason or another. I think the only expansion that I truly am disappointed about is actually uh WOD. I think WOD is the only expansion that I truly can't just don't like, because it's not because how the game plays and stuff like that. Um, my reasons to hate it is actually based on just the fact that it was a content drought for almost a year, right? A year's worth of content drought is just not great. And that's also why I criticized Shadowlands, was because it was a lot of space in between, you know, space in between the expansion. that was just full of non-content, like non-content. Like it had content in it, it was okay content, but it wasn't great content, right? It was just okay content. Like it didn't make me rush to get it. I didn't like the renown system. I did not like how it gatekeeped quests, and that's why I hate Dragonflight now. Right? I like Dragonflight to an extent, but when you're barring quests of the main story and to learn the lore and to do like anything and everything behind a uh, reputation grind, that's when you lose me. Simple as that, right? I'm not gonna do your damn world quests. I'm not gonna do your damn fucking shitty reputation grind just to unlock the main story. No. I've done that enough during TBC and Wrath that required me to have a certain reputation just to continue the quest lines and quest chains. I've done that enough. I did not like Wad's reputation grind because I felt it boring and a waste of time that I could have spent doing other things personally. It's just no. Uh. I've wasted a lot of time doing that reputation grind and trying to, you know, build on top of it, and I've just no, no, no way, not again. And that's my personal take. I don't care if if people want to defend it, go for it. Defend it with all you have. Because I have a friend that's like, oh, but it's static all the time. It's not like it increases or anything like that. And how far you go and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't care that it's like that. I just don't see the reason or the necessity to just have it locked behind a barrier like that. It just does not work out for me, dog. Like, straight up. It does not need to increase its XP. It does not need to increase its, what is it? The, I don't care that it's, like, it doesn't go up in cost as you're doing your stuff. It's like, I don't care about that. The thing is, I shouldn't have to do that to experience the entire expansion. I don't. It's just not necessary for me to think that. Reputation grind such as that does not make for good gameplay. What makes for good gameplay, and what makes for a great expansion, is a story that makes sense, one. Two, a lore that makes sense, right? It has to have a good, enjoyable, has to have a good, enjoyable quest lines. It has to have memorable characters. It needs to have a lot of requirements that make a good expansion. Just because there's a rep grind in it and you get some really cool things, quote unquote, from it, doesn't mean that it's great. It doesn't mean that it's good at all because we've experienced that stuff before. It's called Cataclysm, right? Reputation grinding was so garbage and abysmal in Cataclysm that they came out with a literal tabard that gives you reputation by running dungeons and stuff. Like, straight up. Why can't they put that in the game again? Like, I would enjoy Dragonflight more is if I got, finish the main quest lines for those factions that are in there, like the Tuskar, the dragons, and stuff like that. And then just by doing and finishing the main quests that they have, unlocks a tabard that just running Mythic Plus, raids, doing actual, like, content, like dungeons, raids, and maybe even PvP. PvP victories may give reputation with the tabard. Like, if they did it that way, by using the old tabard system to just passively farm reputation on all the content you did instead of having to do world quests and shit like that, I would probably play the game more, because that means I have to play content that is what they want us to play and desire us and push us to play, and put an actual reason behind it. Because I think if you put the reputation on the stick, doing it that way, I think people would do 3 times more dungeons. I think people would do twice as more raids. I think people would get back into PvP for a reason other than just trying to stomp on, people who might not know how to play their class and garbage like that. Right? I think it would be a better experience if they went back to the tabard system. Straight up, no cap, no lie. I think people would play. I would play it more in that case. I would like Dragonflight a little bit more if I had more ways to just get my reputations and stuff. That's just how I am, right? It's just how I am. But, it's just, I don't know. I just find it dumb that Blizzard wants to make the game better by removing borrowed power and try to double down on things. It's just that I don't know. Like, I know in the Emerald Dream stuff, they have another freaking uh, stupid, dumb reputation grind garbage that they've been trying to push and peddle on people like it's, the best thing since sliced bread onto the players to entice a story narrative or some garbage like that. And I guess I will do that too. When I play in the videos, when I play and make my videos and stuff, I'll pay attention to that. But it's not gonna say that I'm gonna like it, because I don't think I should have to do it. Right? I don't think content needs to be locked behind a barrier such as that. It's just personal takes. Like it or hate it. I have a opinion based on, not liking any of that kind of stuff. It's just dumb. But yeah, guys, rant over with. um, and that's my rant pretty much done, dusted. And yeah, guys, I will pick this up next time. I will be ending the video off here right now. Just buying food for my pet, pretty much. Because I will be definitely feeding this bear a lot until he's, remains happy. But yeah, guys, with that rant over with, that went along a little too long. I'll be honest. We did get our pet. We did get all this stuff over here done, dusted. We're now ready to fight the gnolls and getting into Westfall. And that will be for the next episode, guys. So thank you guys for watching this episode. If you did enjoy it, please leave a comment. If you want to talk about my rants and stuff like that, in the next video, if anybody comments about it in the next video I do, or the next few videos I do, because I'll let it stew, I will respond to comments and stuff like that. If you want to leave a like, leave a like. Please subscribe. I am trying to get let's see if we can't get ourselves out there a little bit more, bigger audiences. And subscribing will definitely put me out there a little bit more than I am now. Yeah, guys, and until next time, smile often, enjoy life as best you can, and just vibe, chill out and vibe. And yeah, peace out.